Page number 15, 16, 17, 18 are the JPs.
Yeah. 197, 160. One 67. También. Así también. 146. 2. 3. And 4.
Look, last year, I tried to divide it. First we voted yes, and then we voted no, based on precinct, the way they are. And the salary for JP1 is 61,000, JP2 is 50,952, JP3 is 55,192, and JP4 is 50,952. And there's different mileage amounts. Wife gets 4,500, 3 gets 42. Marina gets 35, she's the furthest. And Roxanne gets 6,000. That's to go on site. And the work is different in each one. I was going to suggest that you combine the salaries and divide it by 4 and everybody gets paid the same.
Some have more work than others, huh?
I mean, there's days, I mean, I don't know what's happened, but not everybody always available.
Oh, like for somebody else.
I mean, they share weeks, right? A weekend when they come in magistrate. And the thing is, even though they share the weeks, you may have a week where nobody dies. You may have a week where a lot of people die. It's hard. It's very hard to gauge it. But we've done all the commissioners. They all are exactly the same. All the county across for the basic salary are all exactly the same. You know,
What is their proposal on the salary?
just add what they got, divide it by 4.
But I asked for an increase.
You asked for an increase, but DPS told me you dropped 400 cases. And seriously, that's what they told me.
Show me, Judge.
So
Show
they
me-
asked me, I'm not gonna get an argument with you, Roxanne, because I know, I saw the, I'm gonna hold you in contempt if you don't behave.
I'm not doing anything wrong.
Then if you wanna speak, you speak up here. Captain Bentacord explained to me that he had dropped over 400 cases.
Drop 400 cases of what, Judge? Elaborate.
DPS tickets.
What do you mean dropped?
Drop means you didn't charge or file or assess fines.
That is not correct.
Okay.
I like proof of that, please.
I'll ask him.
Okay.
Second, you and George have been going back at it because sometimes you don't work on Fridays.
Yes, sir?
But your $10,000 you're being paid now is for a week Fridays, includes Fridays.
That was never something that I agreed on. That was the previous administration, and you know that.
But that includes the salary you're taking.
What is it, okay, so it's okay for George to make the amount he makes and only work Saturday and Sunday?
I mean, George is there all the
I'm
time.
not gonna,
George is there all the time.
okay,
I mean, I've had to do blood warrants. Where are you? Where are you?
let's go dispatch and see if George is there all the time.
I mean, he's at his office all the time.
Let's look at numbers.
Maybe right now he's not. I've looked at numbers. You collect half amount that JP1 used to collect with 7 deputies and 9 troopers.
Okay?
We got 20-something troopers, we got constables, we've had up to 100 DPS troopers, and even this year, your fines are less. We're actually going less on the collections.
Judge, I'm gonna tell you something. I called the attorneys, and you cannot base my salary on the revenue, because we are not an office that is supposed to be based on revenue. As a matter of fact, there was a lawsuit because of exactly what you say to me and what you feed to the commission, Judge Sevitok. And what you feed to the commission is about revenue. I have the numbers here. I have the numbers.
You have your numbers.
No, I have everybody's.
You have numbers, no.
Yes.
No, based on information that you've given, the amount of tickets you've dropped.
No,
You've provided them.
361.
I'm not gonna argue with you, and you can have whatever
I'm not arguing
attorneys,
with you either.
but the county judge has a lot of ability to be able to set the budget and they either adopt it. And there are cases you're not going to. There are,
You're retaliating against me.
I knew you were gonna say retaliate, but you don't wanna work.
Okay? Prove to me,
And-
Judge. Prove to everybody I don't want to work.
How about your tortilla Snapchat when you left the commissioner's court last time?
Show it to everybody.
Yeah, and then your pajama parties. Oh,
What
but
about
yeah,
your
you're working
parties?
really hard,
What about
huh?
your Halloween party?
We've always had a Halloween party,
Judge, I'm not gonna argue with you
but
about
you're gone
Tuesday.
all the time.
No.
If you let me speak, and if you're gonna keep interrupting, it's something else.
Because you're not telling the truth.
I am telling the truth.
No, you're not, Judge.
I am telling the truth. Those numbers that you have on the books don't lie. They're less than you collect.
Has every, commissioners, I'm gonna ask you a question. Have each of you taken the time to look at this? Have each of you taken the time to realize that we are not an office that collects, we're not supposed to be basing it on revenue? Because if that is so, then the judge is telling the sheriff, you better start giving more citations.
Look,
I'll give you the copies, Judge, I have the floor.
I didn't give you the floor.
You let me talk.
I didn't give you
Let me
the
talk
floor.
now. If not, I'll just sit down and do whatever you want.
When you're basing and giving information, and you know you're under oath right now, under oath, and it says there, anything you say is true, okay, then go on.
Okay. Right here it says, on a lawsuit that was in Ferguson County, it says budgets are sizable increases in unit, which is county fines. Official routinely, I'm not gonna read it all. I'm gonna sum it up for y'all. After I spoke to the attorneys with, our attorneys with, in the judicial committee, can y'all help me out here? With the training center, I had told them that you had brought up to the commissioners that I was not bringing in the budget that the previous administration was bringing up, okay? Those attorneys advised me that that's not what we are about. We are not about revenue. You can't just base it on my revenue. I bring in one year last year, I brought in 651,264.70. This year alone, I have done 265 magistrations with 12 inquests. And I challenge the other judges to give you those numbers, to see how many inquests they have done and how many magistrations they have done. I work Monday through Friday now. I work Monday through Thursday when the other 2 judges are on call. I magistrate every day and I do inquests every time that they call me. I also challenge you, Judge, to call dispatch. How many times have I not been available? Call the jail to find out how many times I have not been available. I'm always available. And you know that even after hours, we're available. And that's all I'm going to say.
It's very hard.
Thank you.
I'm not arguing with you, Judge.
No. This is the thing. A few years ago, when this first started, she asked for additional workers. We gave her additional workers because she had so much work. After we gave the workers, it drops. Anytime there's some type of function, all the workers go. You got so much workers that there's nobody there at the office. We still get the calls in our office that there's nobody there. And we get a number of them. You know, that's the thing. So last year, when I tried to break it out based on precinct, and say put 4 or 5 together, y'all decided to keep it as is. and treat everybody equally. So if the voters decided, and you all decided to keep everybody equally, then share the salary equally. Just the way everybody else gets it. That's all I'm asking. You know, they got a bigger precinct? Well, she asked for the bigger precinct.
I live in that precinct.
Huh?
I live in that precinct.
Well, you're in 1, 5, and 6. And we said, let's do it a 1 and 1 like Commissioner Yavis. And now, oh, I got the bigger precinct, I should deserve more. No, this is what was decided by everybody. You should stay all equal. You know, that's all I'm asking, just let it all be equal across the board. You know, that means Neto coming in is getting the same, Megarino's getting the same, Waiko's getting the same, divided equal. Those precincts are done based on population. We agreed to keep them the same. Otherwise, we're gonna be pointing fingers, well, Janie's not doing as much, or Waiko's not doing as much. I said, you know what? They knew what it paid to begin with. We've made it fair across the board. Everybody gets across this the way everybody else. We'll leave it at that.
But there's smaller precincts than other ones.
But we tried to even them out, and y'all denied me last year. So now you're saying pay her more because she's bigger?
No, it's just real how
Then
they
that's
are.
hypocritical of what we did last year.
Why don't we just keep the budgets the same they are?
Huh?
Just leave them how they are.
Leave them the same.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing I've been saying, and I'm saying, oh, I'm so stupid, nobody knows. You know, in 2013, the Federal Reserve, the Dallas ran, and they called me up. I have a degree in accounting. I work for the comptroller's office. I've been treasurer. I've been county judge. And then they decided me, of all the county judges in the state, to do an article on me, on how counties develop, how we're being affected. And yet, outside, everybody says, you know, damn, you're smart, you know, you understand what you're doing. But when it comes to the county, it comes to you all, I'm stupid. And here I am on the Federal Reserve, nationwide. But for everybody else, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a liar, I want to cheat, I have hidden agendas. But the reality is this money's not going to last forever. There's a thing called depletion. Oil runs out. And all this that you're doing and giving and rewarding when people don't really want to work, it's going to come back on you. He's going to come back on you.
Well, you're creating more jobs.
We're creating more jobs, but the thing is, we're creating more jobs, but what's happening is your fines are going down. They say, oh, I got so much work, Commissioner. I got so much work, help me, back me up. But yet, there's less work coming out.
Just don't promise people jobs when.
So when there's no jobs, when
Bye-bye.
when are you gonna decide? Because right now, if you look at it, and go look at the books, and seriously, go look at Mary's books there. Go look at 2007. They've dropped. They've dropped considerably. In half of what was being collected. And we're paying more, and we're giving more jobs and less work. So if you do what they call independent studies on people and how many cases they work, one person should be able to work 10, 15, 16 cases a day. So if you look at what Trigo's doing or what Waiko's doing, they're working 10 or 15 cases. Look at the cases that work in JP per day. I bet you it's a third of what that's done, because I've seen it. But it's more of a political award than award based on your performance. And when I say worst based on performance is work. Work is work. You go work somewhere, if you don't work by the hour, what are they gonna do? They're gonna fire you. But in the county, it's guaranteed forever, and it's not.
No.
It's not. If they're not working, they're not working, so the numbers aren't showing.
You can get fired.
But we can put it off, but if the work is not coming in, ask Jorge to be honest, to look at the numbers. What was collected in the past and what's collected now? Ask Mary to look at the numbers. She has those books. She has the ability to have it. She has the ability to look. But
I'll get with what.
I brought in this topic every time, and now it's political retaliation because I'm bringing it up again. I don't know what you all want. We tried to balance the precincts. Okay, we don't balance them. Okay, the voters decided to make them all equal. Make them all equal.
Why change them now? I mean,
Well,
we got 2-3 more years.
Last year when we talked about it, You said do it this year, well, and I'll go whatever you want. And here we are. Here we are again. And the thing is, eventually, we had a good appraisal district balance this year. And when that first came out, that about the issues people didn't understand. And now they came, oh, I understand what you're doing now. Now we're getting better values. But, you know, I catch the heat. Now it's you all that's gonna catch the heat because when they don't work and they don't produce, that's something. When people get treated differently and don't get treated right, you know, it's gonna fall back on you all.
I get different advices, that's why
I mean, who gives you the advice? I mean, we can go in a good.
All field gives me different advices than what you tell me.
But it doesn't last, and I haven't been wrong from the very beginning. Because your availability of water, your economy, what's happening in your crane is gonna make gas go for a while. You know, whenever that's over to the change. But the reality is that regardless of where you go, whether it's 10 years or 15 years, it doesn't last forever. 15 years is a very short time to look at, not for us, but for other people in general, it's a very short time.
Maybe by then we'll pay off what we owe.
Yeah, we'll be off, but what about the future? What about having things for the county, because it's not gonna last? We've tried to fix and do as much as we can, and we've done very well, but you still gotta make people work.
We'll just let go of the Emerald prison and we're okay.
But the prison in
Somebody else
Emerald,
run it.
the prison in Salle is not costing us any money yet. They're still self-sufficient. The recovered budget, yeah, they're a bit short on inmates, but they still have $2.5 million in reserves and some operating money.
And then we'll be out of the nursing
So
home and
they're-
dialysis.
They're not completely, the dialysis is almost done, and we got the money as a grant operating. And like I said, the nursing home's almost done, but the thing is, we provide services to everybody else. And it's good to provide services, but we need to make sure that these jobs we create, people will work. People will work, and the numbers show. Say, oh, it's illegal to request work. Well, you know what, if there's not enough work, because look at the cases that come in per day, look at your deposits, you know, then you need to make decisions based on that. You know, it's good when there's enough, but right now, 90% of the money is coming over, 95% of the money is coming in is based on ad valorem. And it used to be like a 30-70, you know, breakout. And now it's got a lot less. That's all I can tell you. And I knew this would be a hot topic, but we've gone up. We try to be fair. You know, I'd like to hear what the other JPs feel. I mean, but
Yeah, let them speak too.
I mean, Janie, what do you feel? What do you feel? George is not here. I
He
mean,
never comes.
I don't know how to split the baby or King Solomon's rule. You know, just don't know how to do it. It's just, you know, and looking down deep inside. Okay, you've been a JP for a while and you've struggled with this because the guy can't write tickets to you, but he's very eager to go help and writing tickets to George to make up the difference. So should he be punished any differently? Should you be punished any differently? Because, I mean, you may have the drive to do it, you just don't have the cases coming in. So is it fair that you're not gonna get paid as much as the other people do? When you're available, you've been elected.
It'd be nice if we had somebody else.
Yeah. Nobody goes.
There's a lot of traffic right now.
So, I mean, it's hard, but it's not like you don't have the drive to do so.
It's not that if everybody gets paid the same, I don't care. But I wanna know what you're proposing the pay is gonna be, because I don't wanna go lower.
It's gotta go lower.
I've lowered people in the past, and they take it to the
Divided by
DA, you know, and next year, maybe the incoming judge can do it, but he can only do it during the budget cycle. But the thing is that I like to see the commitment to make sure that the work is being done, rather than little games and shenanigans being done. And that's what I like to see. You know, it's just tough. We're not voting on it right now. That's the budget workshop, but we want to see what they want to do, because if we don't have the workshop, then we're going to get to for the budget, and it's not going to get anywhere because everybody's fighting. But I'm the one that has personal agendas. These are things I've been bringing up for 20 years, and you can never get them right. You try it, and it's like cooking. You know, you put the right spice. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You just got to keep trying. And I guarantee the next coming county judge, when he has to go do magistrations, he might get upset. But sometimes it's legitimate. You were here, you had an emergency, you were there. You know, I don't know.
How many have you done, Judge?
Huh?
How many have you done that you're upset about?
I did a blood warrant. I used to do 90% for the first 8 years of all magistrations.
No, these.
I used to do 90% of all magistrations.
This year?
And then when I first started, for the first 8 years. For the first 8 years, way before you did.
But you're basing it on now.
But I'm basing it on the numbers that we're seeing on the reports.
They're there. I don't know what
But-
numbers
but-
you want. I don't know what you want.
The thing is, there's a lot of cases apparently that aren't going through, or something's happening because the collections are very, very low compared to historical past.
We collect from $5,000 to $10,000 a day. On good days, on bad days, maybe we collect $2,000 a day. What do you want?
I know Vicky would collect up to
I'm not making-
a
I
million,
don't have the same practice.
and she only has 2 people, huh?
When I came in, you said, don't be Vicky doesn't work with the people. Did you not say that? You need to hold more indigent.
You know, I understand that,
Yes.
but you've had more volume. But at the same time, if you want to get into, you said you're not thinking how you treat people. I got a lot of cases where people are treated equally. It's not going to end. It's not going to end. But-
I get called about you all the time.
But-
Your
but-
office doesn't have.
but all my cases go through Ms. Martinez on a docket. That's not true for your cases. They
There's a
don't.
citation being paid.
So, you know, this is where we get. You know, I could read the emails from Mr. Taylor and your responses back that y'all sent to me. And the whole thing was on weekends and what they're working and, you know, what's fair? What do the commissioners want? You know, I'd say what is fair is what you've been doing to everybody else. All your JPs equal, all your constables equal, all your county-wide people equal. And just keep it as that. That's my recommendation.
I just want the best for everybody.
I do too, but it's one of these things that,
I don't have
that no matter what you do, it's not gonna be fair with everybody else.
I don't have the guts to tell her something that.
I mean,
I can't do it.
you could sleep in it, I'll present something to you, and you wanna vote for it, it's fine. But,
Then why not pay every public official the same? We're all the same,
no, you're not county-wide, you don't have the county responsibilities.
but we're all the same. They are not, don't have 3 precincts, I do. So we're not
But,
the same either.
but you decided, and you pushed that you didn't want 3, because we offered it. So you can't throw it back at our face now, because you didn't want to lose those people in precinct 6 and 5.
I don't make the decisions for the board.
Oh, yes, ma'am, you put a lot of pressure on the commissioner, so you say they should never told you anything.
I made the decision.
And who gave you the, let's do it this way?
Not the
You see-
people,
You see, it's
not the
retaliation.
people.
That's what
It's not retaliation, it's responsibility.
Not the people, because I like fathers and they all for me, that's why I didn't wanna break them up.
So, I mean, what's fair is fair. So last year you said, well, do you want to break out precincts back the way they were?
No, I didn't say that.
Because we broke them out based at first.
I wanted to.
4 and 5, we put 4 and 5, your commission 4 and 5.
Yes, sir.
And we aligned it. And then you wanted to go back.
What do you mean?
And now she's saying because I got 1, 5, and 6, I should get more.
Well, I don't have 6, but Jack does.
But she said now because I got 1, 5, and 6 is getting more. I mean,
I don't know, I just didn't wanna break that.
She has what, 1, 6, and 4.
1, 5, and 6.
And we're gonna change it, they went to Cincinnati, and they give it back to them. We're gonna get, just gonna get missing 1, and Jamie was gonna get 4 and 5,
Jack stayed with 6 and I stayed with 4.
and he was gonna get 6 and 2, Waco.
And I stayed with
And
4.
then y'all changed it back the way we wanted it.
We never said we were gonna change back.
Huh?
We never said we were gonna change back.
I think we could always go back and you would say, well, if it doesn't work, we can always come back.
I just say we keep it how it is and just let the world turn.
But, and keep it as it is,
We're gonna have
everybody knew what they were earning at the time. Everybody knew what they were
I've been
earning.
here 16 years and precinct 1, 5, and 6 has been, well, I came in, we came in together, me and Biggie. And she was doing like Roxanne, 800, a million.
What Roxanne said, and she's not here, is that half of the money that she collects goes to the state. The amount that I'm saying is the amount that we keep. So when Vicky collected $1 million in 2007, that was only for the county, and that's recorded on the books. The other half went to the state, in the state fees. So she's given an aggregate. Look at the books, look at the general ledger of what she's collected.
We didn't have oil back then, we didn't have that much traffic.
But that has nothing to do with,
In 07?
oh, back then we didn't have oil, you said that, we didn't have that much traffic.
07?
Yeah,
I was making $28,000 a year.
but, okay, and we didn't have oil, right?
Not yet.
Okay, so
We
Vicky.
had oil, but we didn't get that.
So
till-
Vicky
till-
was collecting
till 10.
twice as much when you had 7 officers and 9 troopers.
Well, they were
So with
hustlers.
less people, she was collecting more.
They were hustlers.
Huh? They were hustlers. Yes, there was only 7 officers. And correct me if I'm wrong. There was 1 assigned to the task force, and there was only 7 officers and 9 troopers. And I'm not saying they're not doing the work because
And she was a
Tony has shown me all the,
and she was a part-timer.
and Tony's shown me all the tickets he's done, so the tickets are coming in.
She was working at the jail here in the prison.
Yeah,
She was part-time,
I mean,
you made her
and
full-time.
I'm not saying the tickets aren't being done because the sheriff has been issuing them. You know, so that's not the case. The thing is, y'all need to decide what's fair. We don't have to vote on it now with everybody. And we've given them all the resources, we've given them all the money. We can't tell them what to do, but we don't have to pay them extra as well.
Let the court decide.
Hmm?
Let the court decide.
The court,
Commissioner's court.
all presented, you vote yes or you vote no.
Yeah.
So presented one way, across the board, 4 ways. You know,
I'll make the motion, it stays as it is.
but we're not, this is a workshop, we're not gonna vote on it.
All right.
We're not gonna vote
Oh, I
on it.
know, but I mean, that's what you want to suggest.
I mean, what do y'all feel? Do you think it's okay to go 4 ways? No, yes?
Janie like
The
the
only problem
idea.
that, as far as I know, that we have is what you brought up, is the weekend thing, you know. That extra amount was for Fridays, and we're.
She was supposed to be working Fridays and she
And
wasn't,
we're doing Fridays.
and she wasn't.
Well, let them decide, come in.
And the only thing I propose is,
And I'm not-
in your case, if you come in, so allow y'all to have a hotel room, because they're so far away.
No, there's 30 miles.
No, and the reason I'm saying is because sometimes when they come in, some of these accidents are real early in the morning, real late at night. And if she comes call somebody, pronounce somebody dead, instead of putting her, and she's tired, to go back, say, you know, guy, I want to stay here at the hotel tonight, I'll see you in the morning. It's appreciation.
You gotta pay double because he's gonna come too.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. But that might, Guy, wouldn't that help y'all a little bit, knowing that, hey, we're real tired, we came out here late at night and, it was just,
Well, like Frank and I, we try to work, if there's something right by Ensenada, he'll go down there, even if it's Mike to call, and if there's something by me, I'll do it, so that no one has to do that. But there are times you can't, he's out of town, and so.
But I've heard y'all
I'm
trade.
not complaining because it's like you say, I don't have a lot of ticket, any revenue like that coming in.
So you're-
I don't mind doing my part. I wish I did have them.
and like I said, I heard it from Wyco this morning, they're trying, their monies have gone up quite a bit. And it's not all about the money, but it being available.
Yeah.
It's about being available. And
Well, this is the workshop.
this is just a workshop.
Because now we're losing time. Let's continue.
And the way it looks, JP one will drop $8,452.
Saturday.
Maybe you have them all.
2 cents. Precinct two will gain $3,147.54. Precinct three will gain $136.70.
Rojeta un poquito.
And precinct four will gain $4,841.78.
What do you think, Jorge? What do you think?
I was hoping nobody would do
You're there.
It's the same money here.
that. I worked at Webb County many years and the four JPs make the same amount.
No, there's no way.
Regardless of the revenue that they collect, if you have I-35, you're probably gonna collect more money than the others. So they have additional personnel. That JP that has I-35 has additional personnel, which I think is the case.
We've already done that.
Yes.
And we've already done that.
Exactly. But you're asking me and say, we pay the four JPs the same, and actually Judge Roxanne said she didn't have a problem with that, as long as her salary is not increased.
She's gonna lose $8,000.
Increase.
So let's increase everybody else if you all do.
She will lose $8,000.
Well, that's something you can do.
Well, the commissioner, let's keep on going to something different now.
What?
Let's keep on going, no.
See, por eso digo, let's jump in. I mean,
I got a meeting to go.
Kind
Bye.
of on my way out, commissioners, I had asked an audit from the auditors, and, I'm asking audit from the state comptrollers to do the fines and fees, including our office, because we collect them as well. And they do those audits, and they'll show you where the performance is, because we have so much money coming in, that if you don't handle them right, and you're dismissing the wrong ones, the comptroller will come back and fine you. They'll come back and fine you some pretty big hefty fines if you're not collecting right. And
I've never seen it fair. Well, it's not my fault, but somebody comes in with a bigger salary than what the other JP had after she was there for a long time.
But see, Vicky left after so many years, 16 years, and she got the same salary. I'm going, he's getting a new salary. That's the way it's been. I mean, some counties have a thing where if you win, you're gonna start at a different salary. We have never done it that way.
Yeah, but they got differences in the precinct. More people, less people, more tickets, less tickets.
But we had the chance to
Less
vote on
work
it, and they didn't want it.
Hmm?
We had a chance to do that, and they didn't want it. And enough was said that they didn't want to break out the precincts like that, so, okay, this is the way they stay. I got after Jack big time on that, concerning that, and,
It was gonna be hard on her.
yeah,
Because she's got less population over there, she was gonna get voted out.
but she has the most experience.
She was gonna get voted out.
Yeah, but she has but even now when it comes to the budget, what's fair? Because you hear, I got 3 precincts now, I should be paid more. Well, how do you even it out? So when we evened it out, she didn't want it. So I don't know what the answer is, so if you're gonna keep it the way, just four ways. Four across.
Still hard, but anyway, let's keep on,
Let's just keep going.
yeah.
Public safety, we have no change, and then the sheriff's office, we did it last time. The sheriff's office, we did last time.
When I do, touch basic on the salaries for the deputies,
Well, that's what I said, we're gonna come back and address everybody together instead of only one time. All the non-elected officials together. If you're trying to get them increases, right?
yes, for the deputies, not my vote.
Yeah, but for the deputies, like even Dora's, let's finish going through the budget, then we'll address everybody together. City corrections, district judges, leave it alone.
Public safety, leave it alone.
Yeah,
Where you at?
Well, I'm behind.
see,
Sheriff,
we're gonna come back to that. We're gonna come back to that.
Okay. We've got the JP.
Emergency management.
Well,
this is,
I mean, you can amend it, you can leave it alone, you can amend it for next year.
it's part of the amendment. Huh?
You can leave it alone.
That's the fire department, right?
Yeah.
Emergency management?
Emergency, yeah, it's part of the fire department.
Okay.
Next page, sheriff department. And we did his already, did you make the changes? Corrections is district judges, 2 of them. Well, you have the 22 is emergency management. At 135? Is it bringing it down?
You see that emergency management?
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
Who's the salary in front? Who's the one in the
Oh, that's the
salary?
one split with Danny. That's the one split in Danny.
Because they were at 28, now they're at 40. Or 53, oh.
I think there's one over here.
53, se pasó.
Se cayó para 40.
No, it got reduced.
Judge, that was one of the
Changes.
Okay,
one of the changes we made. I know that we had given increases through the emergency management, I guess primarily during COVID. And that kind of stayed, I don't know
We did some increases in COVID. COVID is gone or reduced it. So you could, if you need to, you can budget it up next year.
Well, if he comes back.
You know, at the very end, if you look at page, you look at page. At page 34 at the bottom. There's a $1.9 million extra revenue. So on some of these that are being cut down, you can increase them. Plus, you're probably gonna have about $1 million extra this year at the end of this year. Juvenile probation is set by the district judges at 114. Dispatchers, now we removed one dispatcher, gave it to the jail, does that include that? And then constable 1, 2, 3, and 4, whatever you decide to do for the JPs, either bring them up to 61 or average them, I'd expect that to the constables is to done as well. So that's page 25 through 28.
The judge, but the JPs and the constable, they're elected officials, no?
Huh?
They're elected officials.
Yes.
So you can't do it, commissioners too?
What?
Get more money.
No budget.
Everybody's getting it.
That's a
I
good
mean,
idea.
I was just trying to average everybody out.
That's a good idea.
Now, if you look at at what's being paid from LaSalle County, it's being paid very well compared to surrounding counties. You know, it's being paid very surrounding counties. So, I mean, you got Constable Precinct 1 at $50,953, Constable Precinct 2 at $56,717, Constable Precinct 3 at $50,953, and the same for 4. And, you know, it goes through cycles as well. Sometimes it works, sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't.
4 works
But,
more.
but treat them all equally,
He works more.
huh?
4
Yeah, well,
works
like
more
that.
than 3.
What?
4 works more than 3. Don't you?
I see him more than everybody else, but doesn't mean he works more. I can't guarantee that, but I do see him more.
He's just riding around.
Huh?
He's just riding around. He's not giving tickets.
I mean,
lying to me, man.
he may be giving tickets, but I mean, I'm not out there, so I can't tell you the truth, but I do see him more. I fight with him more. But then he likes to fight.
Le encantan, don't move him. Don't stir him up. Quita, 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 quita.
The day he's not fighting, he's probably sick.
He's
We're happy.
He's happy.
No, he's fighting when he's happy.
He wants a raise. Watch him.
What? You're what?
Behaving.
Oh, you don't have to behave, you'll still fight. So,
Sure.
we went to the JPs, the commitment is that those weekends have to be split equally. They gotta be fair, they gotta carry them. Friday or no Friday, when we're paying for the Friday, we're not getting the Friday, it makes a difference. So,
So they can always exchange days and stuff like that.
it don't happen,
It don't happen?
it don't happen. And it's hard, and I don't blame them, because they make plans. They make plans.
Well, I make plans too, and I still have to come to the meeting sometimes. I can't meet. Doctor, ya está como el viejito.
Yeah. Okay, so what are we gonna do in the constables? You wanna see 2 proposals, one, bring them up all up to the same amount?
They all do about the
Or
same.
you wanna divide them all by 4, huh?
Pee-wee does more than the arrest. I mean, it's up to him. You can say something.
Yeah, Pee-wee. Where Pee-wee?
You can say something. ¿Estás no mira? ¿Estás no mira?
No, no, miro.
Ahí está atrás de mis Martínez. Está ciego el judge.
You know that.
There's 2 constables and the other 2 are not here, so
What's anybody?
either or. Don't, hasta el papel. I don't know if you think you said
We should all be
it.
treated equally.
Huh?
We should all be treated equally.
Yeah, but what's the,
Some don't put miles on it.
what's fair? I mean, it's hard to do what's fair.
Pues he's
What's
got a
your
dog.
recommendation, you know?
Nothing's always gonna be fair.
Because he's got a dog and the others don't.
And he has a dog.
That's a responsibility.
I see.
Está vivo.
But if you take out the dog, what are you on their salary? Because it's supposed to be separately, are they equal?
Well, I saw that was a dog the other day. What was it, a poodle?
No, it's hard.
Oh, 3%, put 6% there?
Yeah, sí.
6 or 3%.
But he has a dog.
He does. That's why he makes more than the dog. Feed him.
You wanna leave that alone?
I'd say we just leave it how it is. You're happy with that guy? You all right? More later, you get more money. Okay, that's the way we talk.
I mean, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. So the food bank, I still want to bring those people in to decide what we're going to do with the food bank. I need to check with the turkeys. They should be coming in today. I mean, they should be coming in this week. Do you know anybody that has a refrigerated truck?
On the turkeys,
Yeah.
I think those two like nobody.
The food bank?
Maybe a big store. Can we talk to Lowe's?
No. HEB said they were going to do them all.
Yeah,
But we're going to pick them up.
Yeah, we don't have a.
Wait.
Hey, check it, nutrition center.
Tomorrow? For sure?
Yeah, mañana.
Well, if it's cold weather like this, it's okay.
Wait, guys, San Antonio, Laredo.
Laredo.
Son 500, 500,
100.
500 están sueltos.
HEB at 24314 South Zapata Highway. That's for Salle. ¿Tú ahí, Jen?
I have to.
De la Tedila,
They're all frozen.
Te llevaste la telita.
En la Tedila, no brinco.
Sí.
So you got a plan con todo ya, entonces?
Eso en una telita. La empresa
So when you get a refrigerator truck,
It'd be nice.
try to find a refrigerator.
Mira, don't just bring them. How many can you fit at the elderly freezer?
No, we can give them quite a bit. Well, what's her name has a freezer too?
Okay.
We can.
Apean los tres
Get a walker freezer over there.
But at the,
Damiana,
how about the freezer?
you have a
at
freezer in
the
That
Ensenada?
walking freezer.
At the egg?
You have a freezer in Ensenada?
Yeah?
Night freezer?
Oh, yeah, but that's the ones in our kitchen?
No.
Is it full? Or
Pero ahí donde está Victoria, there's a walk-in freezer too. It was working.
Aquí,
Yeah, big one.
and the forage.
On there, the you should see your roast.
And she has two big ones too.
Por lo digo,
But Lomo was supposed to give you her list.
porque Ensenada was at a place.
So you're gonna have to get it from her.
Nosotros por ahí en acá.
pues eran 500. I think it was gonna be
10 for Ensenada.
Let me follow, get the list, and get the all the list.
como 650 para ustedes
Yeah.
y 350 para Cotula. 650 para el final. Llegan a 150 family.
El food bank iba a traer una cuanta también, ¿no?
Well, they got 50 already.
Food bank,
They want 50.
They gave 50.
125 a piece.
Aquí en como piso.
Sí, dice que en Ensenada, 125 para uno, 125 para dos, 3, 4.
We'll go open them.
Oh,
and get
that's what we
that,
wait?
I'll go check one second.
So Victoria open to plug it in.
Huh?
So Victoria plug it in today.
Oh, we're gonna do that. So yo también voy a agarrar, mi presidente va a agarrar poquito.
Yeah.
Okay, 125.
A piece. Si somos 100, 125 Ensenada, 125, 125.
With 125, 125, some of 100.
Oh, sí, ya está bueno. Pues tengo que andar con los ajales para que make sure que no agarren dos.
So agriculture service, Victoria.
How is she doing? ¿Cómo qué?
Well, I mean, her, it just stays the same, it just stays the same.
Yeah, just,
Pero right now, A&M has let her work on,
she was gonna come, pero
yeah, Aiden is letting her work kind of like on the other people on, certain percentage at time at home, certain percentage out of the office, kind of like flex time. They're letting her work a flex schedule.
Ya le vamos.
33, library, 60,000. And then in 34, is the final, debt service, which is about 1.9. I think with the changes of income on some of these, it may wash a little bit. I don't think it'll be that much. Unless they give increases.
Because of the additional employee for the parks, since the federal fund transfers money to the park, those employees would reduce the overall.
Okay, and I cut a little bit on the legal and some of those other expenses, maybe 200,000. But it's not gonna be that much of a change. I don't think your change will be, maybe your leftover will be 1.7, 1.6. We'll look at it after you get it done. Sheriff forfeiture really belongs all to the sheriff, as long as he budgets, so it's at 50,000. Courthouse security, Eddie and Ricky. It has no change unless you all decide to give increase. But travel and training went down to 5,000. We could go up a little bit more, but it'd be, Sheriff, it'd be up to you to let us know. On page 36, at the bottom, it's only 5,000 training. If you need more, you let us know. Now, we already did the county jail. The only thing I'm asking to look at is medical. Medical's going up, but I think we've spent more than that already for this year. Jorge?
Okay?
So look at that. Regional Detention Center. Now, does this include the new fees or no?
No.
Has to be adjusted?
It has to be adjusted, well, I'm assuming it's an adjustment, increase in revenue, probably increase in salary expense.
All right. So what's hard here is that with the way it's been on the border patrol and ICE and all that, that the facility's only been staffed, I mean, you only get about half the inmates across the board. And there's been a big wave to try to cut private prison deals. So we're not considered private prison, but yet we're not getting a lot of people in jail. Basically, they're all being set free, so we're not getting too many of them. We're not getting too many of them. So, which makes it really hard. We owe a total of $5 million in the facility. We have 2.5 million in reserves, some money in the other accounts. We're only about 2 million shy. Herb and them are trying to buy it out to see if they'll cut the baby in half. We only pay $1 million and we're done. That's what they're trying to do. But with the rate increase, hopefully it's going to help. So the money's slow, but I think Ira said we're going to hold the U.S. Marshal's money now. That way it take you into January, and maybe by then you'll start seeing more. But you're right at the very end. It's like the people that pay off you're about to pay your car off, and when you're about to pay it, they try to repo it. And that's the way it is. It's just, you're almost there. But we only pay about $500,000 a year, maybe a little bit more. So there's $2.5 million in the reserve. The reality is that he should be able to use that other $2 million in the reserves for operations. And that's where it's at. So, I mean, he's not alone. It's a tough situation until we see more prisoners, but we're far better off because it's almost paid off. County parks, we already took care of that. Road bridge 1, 2, 3, and 4, we took care of that. Now, lateral road only has machinery equipment for 80,000. But Jorge, there's about 200,000 in that account, cash account, I believe, in lateral road.
I can include carryover fund.
Huh?
I can include the carryover fund.
Put the carryover fund.
Do we hardly ever use it, no?
Yeah, but this is an amount
It
that you,
doesn't go,
no, but this is an amount that you can use to fix your,
see?
some bridges and stuff like that. You all divide it out. And I would suggest that you should identify a project to do it.
Use the money, right?
Because if the state comes back, you're not using that, they're gonna take it away. And you haven't used it much.
No, because we've had enough money. That's why.
It's about
I remember I
200,000.
think that Natus Bridge in 07.
The elderly nutrition revenues. We got 2 centers. And the only thing I had done, I had cut 1 position from each because we no longer have COVID. I cut 1 position from each. Y'all can keep it, but you need to let me know. But in Sinal, the people need to use it. Not enough people are using it. They need to go. My whole idea was try to get the people to go, and they're not going to eat, and the food is good.
I have more people going now.
How many?
I have more people going now.
So that's the whole goal. They need to understand, I mean, how can you pay for so much food, so much worker, you know what I need? That's what happened last time when Robert ran it. When they had it, they used to have a nutrition center, but they wouldn't go, and you can't go through that expense if they're not gonna participate. Then,
So, man, how many can she have in that small town?
huh?
20, 30?
When everybody shows up, like when everybody goes, but not everybody goes at the same time. So when people do, I have like 22 people voting, like I have 22 people signed up that they vote. And I have 200 couples going in starting December. But not everybody goes at the same time. I mean, I do have people going, but not everybody goes at the same time every day.
Because they need to, because, like I said, if they're not using it, you're going through a lot of expense and they're not using it. You know, that's something that they never had. Well, they haven't had in a long time, but they're not using it, you can't justify it.
I wonder why the food is good.
The food is good.
Muy como, yeah.
The food is good. And over here, we're not doing the COVID anymore. But at the same time,
¿Cuántos van aquí? No sé.
Daily,
How many go here?
30 to 35.
30.
but even on your home delivered meals, and even the people that go, if they're over 65, they pay taxes, you know, let them go. Let them go. I mean, even over there, if they're veterans,
Ahí voy yo.
let them go. I mean, let them go eat. If they're veterans, I mean, over 65, let them go eat. I know the state says que they don't need this and this, but you know, our own internal, we're paying more money in the state.
You're 60.
The state gives you maybe 60,000 a year, and we spend
How come you never
a
told
lot
me?
more. Huh?
How come you never told me?
What?
60. You're 60.
60.
No, pues ya así 65.
Pero for Thanksgiving, we don't want that sliced salami turkey. We want real turkey.
No.
They're short on turkey.
Oh, well, we got, how many turkeys do y'all need?
What was this?
How many turkeys do y'all need?
4.
4?
We already have.
You know,
Que sea barbell.
but not the slice, not the sliced.
Well, we buy what they have because they're shorter, so they're not.
Pues yeah, they found you turkeys.
You having the luncheon, Rosie?
Huh?
You having the luncheon for everybody?
The 17th.
Huh?
The 17th.
The 17th? ¿Cuál es yours?
La Maya,
17 también.
we'll make them in the morning and you know in the Saturday. So we can eat turkey.
But that's the only change that I did. Pero like I said, let more people come in. I mean, leave the worker alone. We'll do it on both, but they got to show up. This is my last budget. But at the same time, if the people aren't going, you can't afford to keep the staff that you do. They got to show up. And get good cooks that cook good, and they show up.
And feed them a lot.
They feed them a lot.
We have to follow guidelines.
Huh?
We have to follow guidelines.
No, they gotta follow guidelines, but we know very well that there's people that are just so good at cooking that even, you can have the same identical menu, same identical amount of spices, just the way they cook it tastes different. Everybody has a different hand,
So it depends
and
on
it
the
makes
pan.
it different, huh?
It depends on the pan.
It depends on the pan, and it depends on the hand.
Yeah. Correct.
And all that spam is just as good in a can.
Okay.
Está bueno.
Sheriff storage.
Sheriff storage, as long as he does the budget, he's not required to do anything by us. So it means if he wants to change it, you can change it anytime throughout the year as long as you budget. Cameron Road, that's all precinct 3 is ready to go. Juvenile grants. Stone Garden, Tony, all I can do is say a prayer for you. On Stone Garden. Well, no, the thing is on Stone Garden, you get caught on the chase, and damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you don't chase them, they get mad at you. If you do chase them, they get mad at you. You know, so it's one of those things that I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if there is an answer because, you know, you still got them coming through.
I do a lot of mediating and
But,
work.
but even so, I mean, they expect you to be like Border Patrol and go in and chase, and you don't have the resources. And I don't know if you're getting the support from Border Patrol, probably not, because they're not here. So it puts you in a tough spot. But, you know, at the same time, you know, this is a grant that comes from the governor's office if you're working and you got an offer, and it's, you know, really not under our control, it's under his.
We're currently working one grant right now, and they'll improve the rate for next year.
What's hard on those two grants, Lone Star and Stone Garden, is that you're getting the grant, but you're not getting so much equipment support. Even one car wouldn't be enough. So if you damage 2 or 3 cars, you're paying the labor, but you're not paying the equipment, so you're still shorted out by the federal government or the state. And if you don't, the renters get mad, and if you do, they get mad. So I don't know what the answer is.
We're trying our best.
So 51, equipment, election equipment. We did get a HAVA grant. I don't know if we're gonna get another one. HAVA means Help America Vote Act from Secretary of State. If you do, you gotta do a budget amendment, so there's no changes. Court administrative fees, those are Margie's to decide, so this would be up to Sonia. She does have one employee, which is assigned to the annex building, right? Technology fees, there's money there for all the JPs to spend. There might be a little bit more, but that's only for equipment. Defensive driving is for all the JPs. There's a very small amount of money because we paid it all out this year. So there's nothing left to spend.
Lo sacaron, ¿verdad?
Yeah, I'm sacaron, so yeah, this year they can't bring it up, it's gone.
Se lo voy por ahí.
It's gone.
En el defensive guardian.
Deferred deposition fees, JP number one, there's a little bit of money there for next year. The rent account, that's just for one rental, I think, that we're renting so far. County clerk automation is Margie's office, and there's an amount budgeted for a part-time person. No changes, Margie? Special account, that's where we run the Christmas parties out of. There's 7,500 budgeted for next year.
It's going on.
But even for this year, see what you want to run.
Le hacemos Christmas party, man.
And the rest are grants. You got the debt service, text dot, and that's it. Text dot, Stevenson Road, there's some money there. That,
A repair.
debt service.
Oh,
Yeah, you ought to consider clear coating. I mean, put a coating of Stevenson Road.
Pretty good though.
Huh?
Still pretty good.
What?
No sé qué le quedó. Who
You
did
use that
it?
money?
Huh? Yeah, I can use the money, but I mean, it's pretty good shape. But now it's poquito.
Yo le deseo cobra a Peña para que no se cree.
But right now, I mean, look, let's have Jorge do those changes and have one more budget meeting next week, and then we can vote right after it.
Hey, this good.
Next week, we only have,
¿Tienes payroll now?
Oh, we can do December 5.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
short week next week. Should-
We're gonna Saturday.
December 5th. December 5th.
Lo bueno que yo
So you know
tengo.
this?
So it's reading it right now.
Huh?
No,
No, they,
miro bien, pero ahora tengo el expense.
I was the only judge interviewed them.
Oh, sí, puta, yo. En la right o en la left.
Chico, que